It's been a great year for the Northern Lights, and not just in their usual hotspots. People have been awed by these oscillating rainbow hues from the comfort of their own backyards, even as far south as my home state of Florida. With the Aurora Borealis being such a hot topic right now, the stars couldn't have aligned better for today's episode. I'm back with Astrotourism expert Valerie Stimac, and she's guiding us through her top 5 best places to see the Northern Lights. So grab your snacks and pack your parka. We're going on a chilly but memorable celestial journey. What's the most likely place to see the Northern Lights? Can you give me a real answer on that?
I will give you an answer, and don't at me if you go to this place and it doesn't happen. But I would say probably Norway is one of the safest bets that you can make. And I say Norway because Norway is a country that goes very far north, and it has infrastructure for visitors. So there are places in Canada and Greenland that go very far north on our globe, but they don't have the same infrastructure for visitors in those places, which makes them much harder to reach. And Norway was, I would say, the leading tourism destination for the aurora for decades. If you wanted to see the Northern Lights, you went to Norway. That has shifted now as people have become more aware of destinations like Alaska, like Iceland. Iceland did a great job they're great at marketing their country as a destinations in general, but they did a really nice job of capturing some of that U.S. Northern Lights tourism. But Norway's sort of the king in aurora in general.
What's the most accessible, easiest spot to get to for people in the U.S.?
Alaska doesn't require a passport. So from that perspective, if you have the money and the time to travel all the way to Alaska, you don't need a passport. And that is a plus for visiting Alaska.
What's the most remote, hard to get to, but worth it Northern Lights destination?
Can I cheat on this answer? I'm going to say New Zealand for the Southern Lights.
Okay.
Because it's the same scientific phenomena. But getting to New Zealand is an adventure in its own way. And then you need to go all the way to the southernmost tip of New Zealand to be able to potentially see the Aurora Australis. So that's what I would say is, I could say Antarctica, but there's not really a lot of people who you'd have to charter a military plane or something crazy to get to Antarctica in the wintertime or in their wintertime. Because again, we've got northern and southern hemisphere and seasons are opposites and all that. So I would say New Zealand that anyone could reasonably travel to.
Where's the best place to go where there are plenty of other activities, nightlife, food, where you can still feel like you had a great vacation, even if the lights aren't what you hoped?
I will throw this one over to Iceland because Iceland is a small country. The main airport is in Reykjavik, so you're flying right into the capital city, which has anything you would need to have as a visitor. But you can easily get away from the city to see the aurora if you don't see them right in town, which is entirely possible. It still, for American listeners, has a difference of culture and language that give you a more holistic travel experience that you feel like you really, quote, went somewhere in addition to going to see the Northern Lights.
Now, where is your personal bucket list place to see them that you haven't been yet, and why?
Yeah. Oh, so I shouldn't have picked New Zealand earlier because now I'd say New Zealand. So New Zealand is on my list for many reasons. And so I don't know that I will make it in their winter to experience the Aurora Australis, but that would be really neat as well. In the Northern Hemisphere, since we're talking about the Northern Lights, I would love to go to Greenland. I think Greenland would be really neat in general, but that is another country that is quite remote and different destinations are pretty geographically separated in the whole area. Greenland would be really cool. Norway would be cool. My husband would love Norway. He's Norwegian. So I could say Greenland or Norway if I was going for the popular one.
Yeah, I have this whole vision of me hanging out with a reindeer and in one of those ice hotel igloo kind of things with a really fun, fluffy, like you said, they don't make enough coats to be as warm as you would need to be, especially as a Floridian. Like I would need double what a normal person would need. But I just have this vision of me dog sledding and just having a time, and the green and the colors are just
all
waving.
At the same time.
All at the same time. And then somebody's there to capture it, right? So I can put it on Instagram.
Yeah. The last country I want to shout out then, where I think you could have that experience, because I know that there are tourism operators who offer all that, as is available in any of the others, is Sweden. So Norway gets all the spotlight. And Sweden's right next door being like, what about us? So Sweden is also a great destination, and they do have ice hotels and reindeer farms where you can go hang out with reindeer and dog sledding. They have all of it too. So
Valerie Stimac, thank you for joining us. And thank you to our listeners for being with us. If you're planning a trip, be sure to connect with a AAA travel advisor. Check out AAA.com/travel or visit your local branch. This podcast is a production of Auto Club Enterprises. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and leave us a review. I'm Angie Orth. Thank you for traveling with AAA.